Yeah. He
Uh,
uh, he plays in a cover band with our guitar player and the current guitar player in Bad Religion.
Right, right. Because apparently he's skated or still skates, or I know he's a badass welder. He welded some shit at this Mexican restaurant. He would outfit
Sorry.
restaurants with
Sorry, I got a little.
decor.
There you go. Sorry about
He
that.
did all these amazing like welding like walls and like these facades and stuff. It was pretty.
so he's a stainless guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right back. Gardeners are here.
All right. I over the weekend I moved about 4,000 pounds of machinery out of my garage,
Holy shit.
and I'm still moving. I'm making a music room.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good, nice.
Got to do that.
Otherwise, if I don't do that, everybody's going to divorce me.
I saw you were giving away stuff on Facebook. It's like, please take this, get this away from here.
Yeah, well, that's like furniture that's in the space that I'm moving the machinery into.
Ah, gotcha.
So my dad's garage has an epoxy floor and is drywalled and has lights.
Oh,
Way
nice.
better.
Yeah.
And he's not using it, so I'm gonna put my tools in there and set up our garage as a just actually it's really an expansion on the house because with the pandemic school scenario, the kids staying at home, our house is tiny.
Uh-huh.
So everybody's like using the backyard and the patio to like live in.
Uh-huh.
So if we can expand and have a music room, put the piano in there and some drums, it'd be the first time I've had drums set up in since before the kids.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nice. I think the last time I actually had a drum set up was when I was living at my mom's and they shoved me in the aluminum shed in the backyard when I was like 14.
I heard about that.
Oh God, yeah, neighbors
Legend.
loved it.
That must have been so loud.
Yeah, not only that, I had a quarter pipe, about 20 yards away, and that was like that was no masonite or anything like that. So every time you went up, it's like ga 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 ga. I'd kill to have that quarter pipe back now, though. Gosh.
Oh, I dream about it. I've thought about like pouring some concrete tombstones in my yard, but like miniature golf,
Uh-huh.
like a run. So it's not conspicuous. Like maybe if it's narrow enough, nobody will notice that I built a skate park. Um, we'll have to. It'll become the DIY in the garden.
Someone did that. I saw that on Instagram. Someone posted somewhere in the south they had a big ass driveway, but on the side of the driveway were banks and like vertical banks that had coping on it.
Wow.
I thought, wow, that's a cool house.
That's great. Because then when you fall, you don't have to drive anywhere.
You
Yeah,
just walk to the bathroom for first aid.
yeah. Have the family member drag you into the into the bathroom.
Medic. Never mind. Kitchen.
Yeah, I wondered about that, and I think that I would get all the neighborhood hoodlum skateboarders in my yard that I don't even know. So yeah, I wonder about it. I wonder about the economy of having a destination.
Yeah, you'd have to lock it up. You'd have to actually like do what we used to do years ago is put like a chain across or something.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
people end up popping. Like I skated finally the Cove. I skated yesterday.
Is it
And
open? It's open?
it's open now. So it's Monday through Friday from 2 to 7. The capacity is at 25. And then it's open Saturdays from noon to 5 and then closed on Sundays.
Who's working the Cove?
It's not Rick. It's
Oh.
Rick basically kind of got laid off, but
Yeah.
he's.
That's
I
the
spoke
one
to
on
him yesterday.
14th and Pico, right? 14th and Pico.
Yeah, yeah, right at Olympic, 14th and Olympic. So right at basically, I think it's called Olympic Park.
Tottenham. That's by your house.
Yeah, it is right by the police community center right there.
Right. Yeah. I think, yeah,
Tacos por favor.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, my favorite burrito.
yes. Cheap burritos and cheap Modelo.
Right.
But yeah, it was. I mean, the kids were actually, like wearing masks, and the new people out there, they're doing their best to try to, make things work. But it's not. I mean, Ken. I mean, Rick really, takes care of that park.
Oh yeah, he ran a tight ship.
Sure, So
So it's different. It's run differently now?
it's so how Rick used to run it before. They actually have two people that are just city employees that I think were part of the police crest unit right
Yep.
next door. So they got them working because they just had massive layoffs. So Rick was right there, on the bubble. So he ended up getting laid off. He may go back. I think he was talking about maybe November, but I mean, that's all city politics stuff.
Yeah.
That-
Pedlo's still closed.
Pedlo's still closed.
Yeah.
Wow.
This whole
The Pedlo has a members only entrance.
Oh, yeah,
Sort
right.
of.
Members only. Oh yeah, you showed me that with your photo with the big.
That was at Manzanita. They also have one.
Have you been to Pedlo lately, Ken?
No, I haven't been there in a long time. I think maybe I was out there a long time ago. I shot Hunter. What's her name? Hunter something.
Long.
Yeah,
Long.
Hunter. Yeah, and it was a long time ago. Maybe a year ago. Maybe a year and a half. It's been a while.
Is she still skating? Because it seemed like after was it the Bondi Bowl or something last year, she just completely stopped. Did she get hurt?
Right. No, I don't think so. She kind of just sort of pulled back from social media for a little while. I think she was maybe trying to have a run at it, maybe trying to do a YouTube thing or something, and maybe she burned out or something, just didn't want to do it. And so every once in a while you'll see a thing on her messing around in Hawaii.
Mhm.
Not a lot of skate stuff.
Mhm.
Skateboarding just stopped in March.
Like it.
So
Yeah,
the drumming.
Yeah.
right.
Good. I bet skateboarders make more money than drummers now.
Yeah, some of
know.
them do very well. Yeah. Right.
How much does Lizzie Armanto make, Ken? Weren't you telling me it's like
I can only tell you that I've been to both of her houses,
fuck, 2 houses?
Both houses.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean it's never been like this before, let's put it that way. Never been like, this kind of pay. But very few, so many talented skateboarders and only a few get that kind of money.
Yeah. Kind of like drumming.
Yeah.
Actually, I
That
think
one gig, it's like,
that.
oh, it's a great one, and then the rest of them are like, oh boy.
I have some friends that are drummers that they don't want to step on a skateboard anymore. Well, Kurt's one of them. Brooks Wackerman is another one. Yet his brother John Wackerman will get on one anytime I put one in front of him.
Wow.
Did you guys ever have a toil with that?
in '83, I was touring with America's Hardcore, and we were driving through Fresno, I think, and we were playing with. I think we were playing with DRI that night, and we stopped at a ramp. You always do that.
Mm.
And
I smell danger already.
it was a quarter vert ramp.
Oh, gee.
at a gas
Wow,
station
quarter
in the middle of
vert.
nowhere. And God, I think I don't know. We were goofing around. Of course, I go up there and I do like a layback error or something stupid, and it got squirrely at the bottom because it was like going off onto the concrete, and I gently sprained my ankle.
Oh,
Kick drum foot or hi-hat?
Kick drum.
uh,
Oh,
But I was young.
Yeah, yeah, you snap back real quick.
No, it just like it didn't fucking matter.
Right.
Oh, you're playing.
I was 16, I think. 16. That was the only time it really put me out. But I played the gig still.
I was gonna ask. So was the kick drum just a little softer, or just were you in a lot of pain?
It was softer. It was softer. I mean, it wasn't like a really bad one, but it was just stupid.
Right.
It was like having your limb taped up, you know.
I think Josh Fries broke one of his feet.
That was the only time.
He played kick
Ouch.
drum with the opposite foot. Yeah, so he played
Oh,
kick drum with
okay.
his left foot, not his right foot. But I don't think he did it skating.
He wasn't skating, was he?
No, I don't.
Does he
think so.
skate? Does Josh skate?
I don't know.
You think you would, right?
I know.
I'm sure he's hopped on a board before.
He better skate.
Better skate.
Right. Or else.
He played in Devo. He better skate.
Yeah,
I
right.
know, right?
You better be able to do a channel jump at the top keyhole. Yeah, the last time, I mean, I ended up snapping my left wrist in 2005 at the Cove. I was, me and NoHo and somebody else were just sitting around, screwing around and going on the spine. And I was trying to do board slides. And I was getting to that certain point where I got to, I don't know, maybe a foot or something like that. I was all excited. Every time I kick turned back in, I would just bail. So finally, Pat started yelling at me. He's like, "No, you got to pull it in, pull it in." So finally, I just said, "Screw it, I'm going to do it." I pulled it. As I pulled it in, well, I pulled my front foot in, but the front trucks were locked up on the spine. So I basically just went, "Oops," and went like that. This wrist snapped back.
Oh,
And the good thing is the band didn't really have anything going on for 6 months. So I ended up going to a wrist doctor that specialized in drummers. And he basically went through, he's like, "Bring an iPad. I want to see how you play. I want to see your setup." And as soon as I walked in, he's like, "No, this is all wrong." He's like, "Your cymbals are too high. You're sitting too low. Let's raise the seat. Let's lower the cymbals, angle everything like you're Louis Bellson or Buddy Rich." And so that took me about a year to figure out how to do all that. But I actually made it, the angle of my kit now is so extreme. I mean, it's like the snare drum, the top part of the batter part actually faces the audience pretty much. But it's kind of ergonomic, but I swear my wrists feel much better. And
I didn't know it was from that injury. That's
yeah.
interesting.
So you guys find,
It took 2 years for me to figure out how to set up the kit again. And now it's like every time I sit behind another kit, I feel uncomfortable.
Do you play matched or traditional?
I play match.
Huh. That's a trip.
I tried to do traditional, especially angling it like that. And I ended up just hitting my knuckles on the rim too much. So I was just like, "I'll forget it." And so instead of angling it that way, I just angled it forward.
oh
kind
yeah.
of like Daru Jones.
Yeah,
Buddy
exactly.
Rich too.
That's
Yeah.
That's what he actually, his drum tech is Bobby used to be in Bad Religion, Bobby Scher. So Bobby kind of like, Jack White was playing down at the Mayan, and he's like, "Why don't you come down and check out Daru's kit, because this is something that you may like." And Daru's kit at that point kind of looked like the original kit that DW made me, the White Marine Pearl kit. So I'm sitting behind it, I'm like, yeah, this kind of all makes sense. But Daru's like, what, 9 foot tall or something like that? So I mean, I had to get a ladder just to get and sit on top of the throne, and my legs were dangling trying to hit the pedal. But he sits, I mean, he'll make one of those thrones. I mean, he'll actually shrink up the tripod part so he can get it, I would say, at least as high as like Biscuits used to play, maybe even higher.
Oh.
Whoa.
I
Chester Thompson style.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was standing up basically like Slim Jim Phantom or something.
yeah, after one of the on a later tour that we did with that band, America's Hardcore, we opened for the Circle Jerks when Biscuits was playing with them, and part of it on one of the gigs in Phoenix, their van broke down, so he played my drums, and he set up my drums to
Uh-huh.
his setup. And I was already like totally blown away and enamored with everything about the way he played drums.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But it was, so I like had my version of the way he set up
Uh-huh.
at that time. And then when he said, it was like everything was still a foot taller. Like I couldn't even touch the pedals if I sat on that chair.
Wait, who was the drummer?
He was a tall dude, but he wasn't that tall, was he?
Chuck Biscuits. So Chuck was I first saw him play with DOA at the Starwood, and I think he was 17 at the time, and it just like it was,
Oh yeah.
it was like probably seeing Keith Moon for the first time for somebody, you know. But it was just so, the music was so fast, and it was so like rock guitar, you know. I mean, it was just like rock songs, but just fast. And he just drove it. He drove it the whole way, and
Right.
it's like the music. There was no keeping up or slow. It's like it was on. It was just so locked in, and his pedal was just always there.
Yeah.
And it was just it just, when you were young and you see that, you just go, oh, that's how I want to play.
Same thing happened with me the first time I saw him. It was it was just mind-blowing watching a punk rock drummer play a show, and he's on this riser and he's got a crowd around him. Everybody's like watching him, as well as, you know, everybody's like in the front of the stage watching the band, but he's got his own like world of people. Like I would say, like, I don't know, Aaron, what about like 12, 13 people just staring at him?
Yeah.
I think you and I were probably 2 of those 13 people, just analyzing him and going, what is this guy doing? How does he do that? How does he play so fast on the kick pedal? And it sounds like he's playing to a click track too.
Yeah,
He's playing that fast. I mean, his timing is impeccable.
Wow.
But yeah, and then also I think he was the first guy I ever saw use a 16 by 16 inch floor tom as a rack tom, but it was on top of the bass drum. So it was like he had a 26 inch bass drum, then add 16 more inches on top of it, and you could still see his chest from like that. So I don't know what he was sitting on.
Really tall?
Kind of lurched over, and he's playing like this.
He didn't have that lurch. He had that like Buddy Rich kind of lurch. You know what I mean? And then he also, I've been watching a lot of him lately. He did that weird snap with his left wrist where he's like going like that, but at the very end, it's like a weird snap.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's how he hits his left crash. And he was using those Rob Carson 10 marching sticks backwards.
Yeah.
They're like
Wow.
they're like baseball bats.
What kind of drum heads?
They were
Put it in
they were
fast.
always like
Broken ones by the end of the night.
they were like CS dots, but they looked like the parking lot out back.
Right. They were all have rippled and everything.
Wow.
And the other thing is, like, you hit him and it's just like,
Right.
you know, just like it just was not great sounding, but he's putting so much energy into it. And you know, they're mic'd, so it's just like, and the music is so fast that it's just got this, it's just this transient that just goes pow, and it's just like they're big, but you get all this sticking.
Yeah.
So you're getting a ton of attack, and it just shuts off because of all the anomalies in the drum head.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like all this sticking sound, which is perfect for that kind of speed.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And it's like the quarter on the bass drum head kind of
Yeah. Exactly.
on everything. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
rad. It reminds me of years ago. I kind of hung around the Wackermans most of my life, and Brooks and we both studied with this guy Murray Spivak.
Yeah.
So Brooks, you know, he wasn't really into punk when we were young, you know, but he kind of got into it later, and he made his own band. And he actually wanted me to play drums for it, but I'm getting stories mixed up. There's another band that he was in. I think he opened for my band at a place called Goodies, and Brooks
Oh,
is like 15. And you know, man, you just can't beat that. Like, just beat the shit out of those drums, and just fast, and just drove it, and just, you know, technique out the window, and just like,
Right.
you can hit a drum too hard, right? And he was right there the whole time practically. And I've never seen a show like that ever. You know, like when you see a guy play the drums like that, it's hard to explain. It's like,
I'm getting tired just thinking about playing drums.
but it's the opposite. You know, I mean, you feel, it gives you all this energy.
Well, there's like this threshold with drums. You know, they talk about drums choking, and it's like a drum, you hit it, and there's like this resonance, and it's like the energy goes into the drum head, and it, you know, does this thing, and the hoop resonates, and that tension, the drum goes sing, right? Then there's this level where you just go, wow, and it just goes, I really want to turn into atoms.
Right.
And it just goes, you know, and what, I don't know what, you know, light bends as it goes in it. I don't know what, but it's a different sound entirely. You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really wish Chuck Biscuits was still playing, because I mean, obviously for selfish reasons, because I just would probably go see him 5 nights a week. But I'd love to see a video of him, like how they show, like I saw some YouTube video where some guy was hitting a cymbal, and I think it was like some TV show, but it showed it in like extreme slow motion, like how the cymbal just warps and everything. And I'd love to see Biscuits playing and watching those drum heads just going like,
Well, it's kind of like when you're on a drum riser and it's just going like this while you're playing, you know, which is like every drum riser you've ever been
I was
on.
gonna say.
Have any of you guys ever played on a one of those cruise ships on a riser on a cruise ship?
No.
Not. I
crazy.
did it. I did it a couple years ago, and so I was on probably about a 6-foot riser, and the stage was at the back of the boat. So as we're playing, I'm just like, I'm getting seasick. I'm like, oh my God, this is like, it might like fall off the riser and like throw up. And then the next morning, needless to say, you know, you're on a floating open bar that's 24/7. So after we played, I had a couple of cocktails. But and then the next morning at 9 o'clock, we got called that we had to go do like a meet and greet with the people, like just stand there, take pictures and whatnot. And it was in the same section that we had played in. So, and we were hitting some rough waters. So there's 5 of us standing there. We're all completely hungover, and these people get to walk up individually, take pictures with us, and they're all excited. And we're literally like hungover, about ready to fall over each other. And finally, somebody from the production office came and walked up to us and said, "Hey, you know, you guys kind of look green. Is there anything we can do for you?" And we, as if on cue, we're like, "We just need some beer." And we just, as soon as we got a couple of beers in us, and we're like, "Okay, we feel better now." And
Hair of the dog.
Thank you.
those boat things are crazy. It's so funny to watch, like people, because you're on a boat. This particular thing that we did, we only did 2 shows within 5 days. So when you're walking around and you're not playing, all you're seeing is people on the deck walking around with like the soft casts on their legs because they get so hammered, and the water comes up and they end up slipping. So they get, you know, next thing you know, they got a leg cast. Next thing you know, they're in 2 leg casts, and they're walking around in crutches. But it's as if they like prepared for it. They have a cup holder on their crutches so they can put their Bud Light or whatever there is they're drinking or whatever.
That's professional drinking, man.
It's, oh God, some of the people on that thing. I mean, it was like, it was mind blowing. At one point, I just had to like go back to my cabin because it was fun. It was basically like it was kind of like a high school reunion vibe. So you got 3,000 people that go every year. They don't really care who's playing. It's more about the hang. And these people, I mean, they can drink. Like I've never seen people drink before.
You just said 3,000 people. That's how many people are on the boat?
Yeah, 3,000. Well, that's 3,000, and then plus there's probably, and you got like 25 bands, and you got production. I think the production is probably about 125 people because they got 7 stages. So it's like they got an outdoor stage, and then they got like 3 mini stages inside. Then they got a couple like large arena theater style stages, and it's an interesting thing to do. It's fun, but I don't think we would go back and do it again. Because if you think about it, like from you, and you, Aaron, you know this, and we all know this. It's like if you're out for 5 days, that's 5 days worth of shows. So if you're out on a boat and you're only playing 2 shows, you're actually missing out on 3 shows worth of money. So it's like, as much as it's a fun vacation, you're actually kind of losing money. So we were like, is there any way to just helicopter in, play the shows, and then get out so we can go play other weird places in Florida, which doesn't happen. So,
Wow.
Wow.
but yeah, it's a trip.
What was it? What was your last gig, Pat?
We did a live stream. I guess the last gig in front of people, we did 4 shows with Danko Jones in the middle of February. And we did we did San Diego, Orange County, San Francisco, and LA. And so that was February 6th or 7th was the last show we played in front of people. And then we did a live stream on July 27th. We shot it at some soundstage at Third Encore out in the valley, and they had like video walls. Not only they had 3 video walls, but they also had the floor was like a video floor. So it was kind of a cool little production thing, and we pulled off some decent money. I mean, it was you're basically playing to a tip jar, but the main thing is we got to keep the audio tracks. And we got to keep the isolated video tracks, so we can actually take it and use it for, something. So, and that was it. And as far as gigs go, we were supposed to be on tour right now for about 3 weeks, and that got canceled, obviously. And I don't think our agency isn't even entertaining offers until June of next year.
We're not going to see anything for a few years, man.
I think so. And you know what? I'm okay with that because it's safe. I'd rather it be safe and go back to normalcy rather than playing I get the whole drive-in thing. I mean, that's cool. I dig that, but it's like to go back to a normal show where people show up and it's, you don't have to worry about anything. We're a couple years away from that.
Yeah, strange times.
It's really weird. But also, and I was telling Kurt this, as much as this has been strange times, I've discovered something that I'll call the pasty pandemic. And so basically, I've been scoring pasty cymbals for probably 10 to 20% below an artist cost, because people shove their pasties up there. They'll shove like Giant Beats or 2002s up there on reverb, and they'll put like a 20-inch root or something like that. They'll put it up there for $225. Well, you sit and you watch it, and then I ended up making an offer. I just threw it out there at the guy. I'm like, well, maybe what's the worst he's going to say? No. So I threw out there $125 for this 20-inch spin crash, and in mint condition. And the guy immediately said, "I'll take it." And I'm like, okay. So let's see if I can do this with 2002. So I scored a 19-inch 2002 for $85.
Everything must go, guys. Everything must go. Get the fuck out.
Get up, take them.
Here.
I see what's going on.
What are you pulling out there, Kurt?
This is the Kurt drum channel.
Look at that.
Dude, these are rad. These are really good. You got to get one of these, and they're cheap.
Yeah.
It looks like what is that?
Chrome over brass. It's a double bead.
Right. Didn't Slingerland do one of those?
I think so.
It's kind of like a Black Beauty, but it's a DW Black Beauty.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like a Black Beauty as far as the shell.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like half the price.
I got a
Everything must go.
I got a black nickel over brass coming, I think next week. So the regular collector's black nickel, I think it's the same as that, but without the beads and it's just the collector series.
Oh yeah. Those are good.
Plugs or whatever. But I got one of those. I don't know if you guys have you ever seen a 5x16 acrylic snare drum?
5x16.
Sounds like a
Oh,
Wow.
So,
Right.
for the-
And it
the
looks
guy
like
that
it's-
used to work at
Looks-
Homie's place from 311. Did he make that? He used to
the
cut
guy
down.
from RCI
No.
Starlight. They make all the. They do all the collector series acrylic kits.
Wow. Where do you find
And-
snare wire for 16 inch?
That's a
Garrison.
good question.
Garrison.
Garrison?
Well, PW, they make that 10 by 16 inch ballad snare.
Oh, right.
And all this is a 5. It's just that ballad snare cut in half. I got an acrylic one and I got a maple one.
well,
Yeah.
if you use a like extended snares for a 14.
Oh, okay.
That would work as well.
Okay.
But
What does
no,
that acrylic sound like?
What's that?
What does that acrylic sound like? Is it kind of fat?
I've had the maple one for probably 3 or 4 years now, and when I got this one, the first couple of rehearsals I played with it, honestly, it sounded like a stainless steel snare. It had,
Okay.
because I mean, it's the only reason, one of the main reasons why I got a 16 inch was no matter where you are, no matter what you do, you're always going to hit the middle of it because it's so big. So there's no excuse. But when I first got it, I just took it out of the box and hit it, and it just had a really big thud sounding. So I had to crank it up. Once I cranked it up, it kind of like it had that thud, but it also had that like metallic crack to it.
Yeah.
The acrylic one, the maple one, is a little tricky to kind of tune up. And at that point, with the maple one, I play a thinner head. With this one, it's like the Aquarian makes a what is it, a 20 millimeter? It's like a 10 on 10
Okay.
snare head. So that one you don't have to crank as much, and you still get the nice thud. But I tell you, that thing, it hurts my ears. It's really loud.
Oh.
And it's an 8 lug, right? So it's
8, yeah.
so that means it's not as pingy.
Right.
Right.
Focus, right? So it's like a little, so even high, it's going to have like a tone that sits below 1K.
Right.
Yeah.
On the wide side of the sound, even though it's pitched up.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, one of the main reasons I got that black nickel over brass is because I don't actually own a 14-inch snare. And we were going in the studio, and I'm like, I should probably get a regular snare. And I brought this in to record, and it doesn't record well, obviously. I mean, live it's a perfect snare, but in the studio it's just like, it's not that good. But that's why, I mean, I did some research, and that black nickel seems to be like, like an all-purpose multi-workhorse snare. I was going to get the aluminum one, but I didn't hear like a lot of good things about that one.
Hey Ken, did you hit up Salba to see if he wanted to join in with?
He's having his house worked on, and his wife, she's a principal, so she's on the laptop. I guess they share a laptop. That's his house.
Oh wow!
I said, well, Salba, it works on your phone. So I got my hands full right now, dude. And I hit up Brooks. I haven't heard from him yet. And Eric Von Arab as well.
Oh really?
Plays drums?
Yeah. No, but I just figured,
No, he's just a nutbag.
Yeah. I figured Arab in
I
here.
thought he was a guitar player.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
But he likes to talk.
Whatever happened to oh shit, what was his name? He made the ball bearings.
Oh, Ron.
Oh, Ron. Rocket Ron.
Ron, is he still around?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's working at a shop up in, a machine shop, bearing company.
Bearing, probably, yeah.
Up
Oh,
in,
nice.
I don't know if it's Santa Clarita or somewhere.
Is he still skating and playing guitar in that?
You know what he's doing? He's going nuts on one of those mono wheels.
What?
It's like a go-kart tire on a
Yeah.
board with a gyroscope,
Yeah.
and he's like gone berserk
What?
with.
I should get Danny Dawson. He's riding a skateboard now.
Oh right, Dan Dawes has a fucking
Powered
great
one, right?
skateboard he made. I forgot about Dan.
Wasn't Ron in a Nirvana cover band or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a few.
I heard he does actually pretty well with, or did. I mean, you know.
Some
Yeah,
I gave you a set of his wheels that he made. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Did you
those.
ever use them?
No, no, because just like you, like I'm too fucking scared to get on a skate now if I break it.
Smart man.
No, they're great wheels.
I even bought a new skate last year. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then I thought I was gonna go with Cookie B. He's like, oh man, I ain't doing that shit. I'm like, fuck. Dude.
It hurts to fall, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know, it's not like we're young bucks anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, if we fall, like chances are, I mean, especially me, I'm gonna break something.
When I fall, I commit to falling.
Right.
You fall really well.
I don't try to save myself. I fall in a
with it.
very defined way.
Well, you might have to give some lessons on how to fall as an elderly person.
I'm
I'm not calling you elderly. I'm calling me elderly.
no, I'm
Aaron, didn't you say you had a concussion?
I think I've had a few. The last one I had was the stupidest one in the world. I was like at the top of the snake run at Pedalo, like literally like
I love that thing.
10 inches of transition. I was
Right.
like trying to get like just a line that would mimic a Monty grind, a backside Smith. And just trying to like hook the back trucks and stay nose over and get the motion of it. It was so stupid. I would just like one push, do this thing, ride out. One push, do this. And what happens?
Oh no.
Nose wheel bite, fine.
Oh.
I'm full pads. Okay, it's no big deal.
Right.
And I just go, okay, I'm going down. I don't even know what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like in my head, it was like I felt like a beer had been shaken in my head.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, it had the can had cracked a little. It was like a sound like right here on the temple.
Oh.
Right where the
Oh, really?
helmet.
Oh,
We're in a flyway.
Oh,
right on-
wow.
how many fingers am I holding up?
Yes. Who's the president? Yeah.
It was bad. You know what? It was like it was a chill morning. We were all skating. And so, TA was there. He was like around, and as soon as that happened, he was out of there.
Oh, really?
Like
You
jinx-
cursed the bowl.
Yeah.
I used to love watching him skate there, man. God,
Yeah.
just effortless. Effortless. Yeah, I used to see both you and Pat there all the time at Pedalo.
Yeah, that was like 2000. When did they reopen with the pool? Was that 2004?
Yeah.
That
So I
could
was
be.
going there from 2004 to 2007,
Right.
and then I fell and stopped.
the summer that they put the pool in is the summer I started skating again.
That's when I think that's right when I kind of got like, I went from mini ramps to like, oh, let's go back to vert and see what that's like.
Pat, I saw your band playing there too. I remember when I was.
That's right. My old band Speed Buggy played there
Yeah.
at some contest or
That
whatever.
was cool.
Oh, I can vaguely remember. I think I had a concussion that day too. I forgot about that. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that pool for a lot of us, because that was way prior to Culver City, and I think Santa Monica had opened a year later. So I think that was the kind of the pool that like got a lot of the older like boogie bowl guys and marina guys and skater cross guys together, because it's a very comfortable pool. It is a very comfortable pool.
Yeah.
And it's got that nice mellow shallow. The shallow section is very mellow, and I think what actually helped out with a lot of the older guys that like me that was getting back into it, I was scared shitless to drop in, but it had that roll in, so it was like
Yeah.
I don't have to stress about dropping into some crazy pool.
Right.
And it was fun to watch everybody get better and like really like thrive. Well, hey,
And Dawes.
Danny Dawes.
What up, my brothers?
Hey,
Skateboarders and drummers, Danny.
Oh boy. Well,
Oh.
I'm not really kind of in the group. I'm an outcast. What can I say? I got electric skateboard.
So Dan, did you build that skateboard yourself?
You can hop on it. That's great.
Dan, did you build that skate yourself, or is that?
Well, no. It's a trip. I bought, actually, I used one used off of Marketplace, and it broke down after one day. And then it's like, I found a place in Santa Monica who builds them using like the same motors and components that this one had. They just upgrade the electronics. So I got all new electronics in that. And I basically have like, you know, it's like a $1,200 board now.
Wow. That is cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it goes like 25 miles an hour.
Do you
That's
ride
It's
a race?
cool. It'd be cool if you could. Can you roll it around? Can you roll on that thing and zoom?
No, not
Danny?
really. No.
Okay.
No, it's kind of, it's different. It's another animal. It's like, you know, you can't make sharp turns and stuff like that. Like you got to be real careful because the way the brakes work, they're regenerative and they kind of start like right where you are in your acceleration. So it's tricky. It's really kind of scary.
You
know, you're going,
You have
"Oh
to
my
have your
God."
head in the game, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's like I'm all over the fucking map. I'm like, oh God, I got to make sure I pay attention to the road. And then I'm trying to shoot video with a selfie stick and doing crazy crap. I'm like, Dan, you're gonna kill yourself. What the fuck are you doing?
Sounds like you're having fun to me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'm having and it's like it's cool because I could ride. It's a 15-minute ride right to the beach here,
What beach?
Cabrillo Beach in San Pedro.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's like I got all the waters all around here and all the docks and all the crap like that. So there's a lot of scenery, a lot of bike trails and stuff like that. So it's really neat.
Rad.
Cool.
What kind of wheels
Yeah,
are on?
come on down.
What kind of wheels do you have on that? Are they bigger wheels or are they skate wheels?
No, they're all terrain. It's
Oh,
like
I see. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I had something else in my head. Oh,
Don't
I
have to
see.
worry about rocks.
Oh my God.
yeah, you don't have to worry about anything like that. It goes over
Parking
everything.
blocks.
It's a Tonka skate.
Children.
Tonka skate.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, and it's like after I got the updated, you know, like battery compartment and the electronics and all the crap, I was like going, holy shit, this thing is a whole nother thing now. And I was like, I want to upgrade everything on it. But then it's like, again, I'm like the other tires on like that, I want to replace the tires because these are, you know, most of the time you're riding on the street. And it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, they're cool. And it's like, yeah, but you can take the other off-road tires and they're not knobby and you get a smoother ride. So I think I'm going to do that.
Right.
But it's a lot of fun.
That looks like you could ride on the sand at the beach.
God, I know, huh? Jeez.
Well, almost. Sand is kind of hard. It's like I've gone through some sand patches with it. You got to just go real slow.
How about
And the deeper the sand is, it's harder.
how about the shoreline where the sand is packed with the water?
I haven't tried it. That would work, though. I know that would work.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that it's like it weighs 70 pounds.
And,
Oh,
don't get
So-
it wet. Don't get it wet.
Oh no, yeah, yeah,
How about-
exactly. There's a lot of
the
things
loop, Dan. When are you gonna do the loop, Dan, with that thing?
Oh yeah, I'll do that today. I'll get right on it. I just don't want to
Kurt.
fall off.
Kurt, did you see? Do you remember Carlos at the at Pedlo?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for a while he and these dudes were racing these boards they were making, and they were taking batteries and treadmill motors, which are like this big,
Wow.
and driving with a chain,
Oh, gee.
a fifth wheel that was about this big on the back, and they were racing them on in like leathers and helmets at the velodrome.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And they were just jamming, and when they would crash, it was like banana splits. It was
How
Yeah.
fast would they get going
like
on those things?
like above like 30, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
30, but
Oh
you know,
yeah, some
wheel
of
to
those
wheel though, that's scary.
get fast.
That's
It's scary.
And there
That's-
were totally there was no curve to the acceleration. So you just stand there and they'd say go, they'd hit the button and they'd just burn out.
Wow.
Wow.
That's rad.
I love the banana splits reference. So when they crash, like, "Argh!"
It wasn't pretty. I've seen video.
Oh, I bet. Jeez. And then who else? Carlo. It was Carlos, and who else?
It was like Zach,
Uh
all those guys from the OG Jam,
Oh, okay,
the
gotcha.
local guys.
Uh,
Are those OG jams
wasn't-
still happening?
No, they
Last
stopped
year-
with the COVID. I mean, they were just starting it up, I think.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Those were kind of fun to watch. I remember back. They were having.
Were
I
you
might
in
have saw
the
you,
back?
Aaron, at was it an OG Jam I saw you at with you were at Pedlo, and who's that dude that used to hang out at the Cove? He was announcing it. It was like a
Chuma?
contest. Who was it?
Chuma?
Might have been.
Well, Chuma did it for a few years, and
Yeah, it
then-
was Chuma. It was Chuma for sure because I was like sort of tired of hearing Dave MC stuff. And I told Chuma, "Oh, it's so great to understand what you're saying."
Yeah, yeah.
No offense to Dave. I mean, Dave comes on these sometimes. But yeah, you
Dave reminds me of Artie Lang.
remember that, Aaron? Chuma sort of busting balls about your beard or something like that.
He was that the one where he was calling me an old man?
He was just saying something like, "Oh, you've got such a smooth beard," and "Oh, you're."
Oh god.
It was like the late 40s, 50s division. What is it? What's it?
Oh, that was back when we were in our 40s, right?
Maybe. I don't
Late
know.
40s.
I had like a couple weeks on.
And you had longer hair, didn't you?
I don't remember.
I think you might have had maybe.
I think that was a couple years ago. That was like 2017, I think.
my bad.
I-
It was a while
I did-
ago. It was definitely a while
I did
ago.
a couple at the Cove. It might have been the first one.
This was Pedlo. I'm pretty sure this was Pedlo.
Really?
I could be wrong. I could be mixing it up.
Have any of you guys skated Venice yet?
Yeah.
I have. I
Oh
skated-
god, I'm dying to go. I want to go this week.
Come on, Satnam. If you go, I'll go.
I mean, I'll go.
Is it?
Dude, I'll meet you there. You
Yeah,
tell
I'll
me
go
when.
too. Take pictures.
Fuck it.
I'll hold the camera.
Come on.
Is it open? I mean, I thought they filled it full of sand or something.
No, I think it's
Oh,
all.
they got it all out.
They dug it out. The skaters.
Yeah. I think the LA County skate parks are kind of open. I know that and I may be wrong, but there's one that's near. There's one. I think it's called Harbor City or something. It's near Torrance.
Yeah, that one never really closed.
I think what they were doing for a while is they were taking reservations. So some places are kind of open, like Culver City. Yeah, it's like a reservation for two, please.
That doesn't work for skateboarders.
No.
Right.
But I know that Culver City is open now. Cove is open. I think Venice is open. I think they filled it up for a bit. But for the most part, I think somebody did dig it out and they just finally just said, let's just leave it open. But I've only skated that park once, and it was mainly just a pool. A very weird pool. You really got to work. It's like going up the whole way.
It doesn't have a waterfall,
Right.
shallow to deep. It's kind of,
It's like a pond.
it just,
Yeah.
yeah.
The shallow end's a freaky drop in too. It's sort of
Very
bang.
freaky. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be on your game when you drop in. You got to be like prepared for. Oh, it's like
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and then you hit the deep end, and it's like you end up carving out of the deep end. And you're like, I mean, you got to really power through that just to get back to the shallow end because it feels like you're going uphill again.
Too much flat. The thing I love down there is that snake run. When I go there, it's the only thing I ride is a snake run.
That looks fun. When I've tried to ride it, of course, there's like 35 other kids with like switchblades and guns and stuff like that want to mess with you.
Well, they say that's where the most people get ambulanced out of there is that snake run because of all the,
Is it?
the collisions.
People hitting, yeah. It looks fun though. It looks like a blast.
So fun. Yeah, it's nearly an old school snake run. It's not technically one, but it's nearly. Yeah.
Have you guys seen that pump track down south?
Yeah. I
That
haven't
looks
done that one yet, but I hear it's rad.
that looks like it's a.
Is it the black top one?
They have a concrete one too, don't they?
I think yeah, they have a blacktop one. I think they're both like in the same area,
Oh,
but looks fun.
Now, was it the YMCA in San Diego where they did the OG Jam in the pool? Don't they have a ramp? It's like a pump track that has.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. It's kind of unique. I mean, that's a lot bigger than a pump track. That thing.
It's like a freeway with vert.
Totally. Yeah, pump tracks are really like. How tall would you say a pump track is? Maybe 3 feet, but that thing you're talking about, it was like 5-6 foot turns and.
I mean, but it was.
Yeah.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
All wood. Mm-hmm.
Is it still there or no?
I don't know. I haven't been out there long. Didn't they call it like skate across or something like that? To try to classify that as some.
Oh, like an event.
Or a style, yeah, or a style of skating, because it was definitely different than anything I've ever seen at a skate park.
Interesting.
Yeah,
You're talking about that Claremont Park, right?
Yeah.
that's probably it.
Yeah, that's the one with it's got kind of a kidney and then the bigger ramp, like
A vert, don't they have a vert over there still?
It's
yeah.
a combi. No,
It's
no, this is the one that's got a capsule that shallow ends with a kid like a amoeba kidney thing.
Oh, right.
Right.
It looks fun. I've never been down there. I'm so those are for me. It's hard to hop in a car and sit for 2 hours and then go skate because it takes once I get out of the car, then I gotta like stretch for 2 hours and then go in and start, and then and then get my motor running inside and
You
then
might get hurt stretching.
what's that?
And then it's just like
you
it
get
seems
hurt
like the
stretching
wasted
and you're out
point
of the
at
whole
that
thing.
time.
I need to lay down in the back of my car. I need to have somebody drive me so I can just stretch for the entire 2 hours. And then maybe I'll get 45 minutes then.
That's true. That's all true.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, getting old's fun. No.
But I feel like you have to keep skateboarding
That's the
because I know that when I've taken breaks, it's really difficult to get back into it again. And
Yeah.
I think there's some point where I just won't be able to skate.
I haven't. The only thing I've been doing during this pandemic thing is taking a slalom board out and pushing around the neighborhood, which is fun. I mean, because you can get low and get some G's and pump it around and stuff. But
Yeah.
I haven't. I've actually been kind of busy working from home a lot and doing stuff like that. So I haven't been going out.
I think
This-
riding the
I'm
streets is
actually-
sometimes more tiring than riding in a skate park because you got to read the road and
Yeah.
it's at a skate park I just stand there and bullshit with everybody for 20 minutes and I take one run.
It's
Yeah.
safe at a skate park. I mean, like, when for while the Cove was closed down, I live right behind the Gaslight Karaoke Bar up on Wilshire here in Santa Monica. So that's my skate park, is the parking lot back there.
Yeah.
And the concrete is hell. And of course, what was it, about 2 weeks ago, I was skating around. And when I grew up, I grew up skating ramps and pools and stuff like that. I never grew up skating street. So as I'm pumping around and I'm getting some speed, and then all of a sudden I get a wheel bite and I just go flying. And it's like, you got to be kidding me, man. I'm like, really? And got scratched up. So yesterday when I went down, talk about like Ken, you made a good point. It takes like 3 or 4 or even 5 like really long sessions to get to the point where you feel confident enough,
Yeah.
where you're not worried about other people skating around or anything, where you're in your zone. And yesterday, I think I hopped into the pool for about 45 minutes, really just like carving and doing fakies and kick turns. And I woke up this morning just feeling terrible. Well, I mean, I felt good that I did it. Don't get me wrong, I feel good, but my legs hate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's tough, like,
Kurt.
to get back into it.
Ooh, there it is.
Oh, what's that?
That has my name on it.
Got your name. I've been waiting.
I know.
And guess what? Wait. Now it's like, and I got all the other shit now too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. Real nice.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice swag there, Danny.
Brad.
Dan, how long has the pad business been in business? How long you been doing it? 30 years?
I moved to California. I was doing it in my parents' garage probably for about 3 years before I moved to California. I moved to California in '84.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Where'd
like
you go?
going, yeah, I've done my time, whatever
Yeah.
that means.
Where did you come out here from?
Long Island, New York.
All right.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 21 when I came out here.
I first saw Danny's pads. I was taking lessons from Chad Wackerman, and I think it was when he was living on Coldwater, and I saw some prototypes of your pads
Oh, yeah.
at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who I
Yeah,
think,
it's like when it was funny.
you know who I think was friends we had as a mutual friend who's not with us anymore is Barry Schneider.
David.
Right?
Oh, Barry and I were so close. Barry was one of my best friends. It's like everybody loved Barry. He was bigger than life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bought out when Barry had Studio Invisible. That
Right.
was basically, it was Missing Person Studio.
Right.
And he bought out that studio and I bought it out from him.
No kidding.
And that became my studio. And I had Terry Bozzio's drum riser. I had big light boxes from their tours. Everything that was in Studio Invisible became my studio in South Central LA.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then it's like after, it's like years went by. And so then I moved to the Valley, and then Barry and I were like neighbors. So I would hang out with him all the time.
All right.
It was like, I got to get away from my wife. Can I come over, Barry?
Is that the mannequins you had
He
at
was the
that
best.
at the studio? Was that Missing Persons mannequins?
No, those were mine.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm starting it up again. Yeah, it's like my kits. This is my my big major workstation that's audio, video, everything. I got the video switcher over there and the mixer and all the pads and the plug-in module and all the different shit going in the drum cat. And then I'm setting up this kit, which is using the Yamaha EAD and the Gen 16 cymbals.
Oh, nice.
So that's this kit.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a really old
few
drum
kits. I got a
cat.
whole like multimedia.
That drum cat on my drum cat, the rubber's all tearing apart. Do they sell a replacement for that?
Yeah. I just refurbed mine.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I have like one of the original drum cats, so
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, you got to replace the mat. Well, a drum cat isn't worth a shit unless it's at least 3.0 or above.
I'll have to check out what it is. I think I used to take mine to
It's like
Bruker's
when you got
house. Mark, what's his name? Mark Bruker? He used
Mike,
to-
yeah, Mike.
Mike, right. He used to rep that.
I new
company.
motherboard for it, which I had to do for my old one. And that's $250 for a motherboard.
I ain't bad.
Oh, you did the upgrade though. You did the turbo upgrade,
I
right?
did turbo upgrade with the
See, you guys notice both me and Pat are just totally glazed over.
No, I was about ready to ask a question because I think it's time that I buy a. Right in February, I reached out to Garrison about something, and he shot me back an email. He's like, "Hey, do you need a practice pad kit because we're going to be closing down?" And I'm like, "Actually, yeah, I do." And as I'm playing the practice pad kit, I want to take it and throw it out the window. So now I'm in the market for buying basically an electronic kit, but I have no clue. I have no idea what to get. I mean,
It's just how much you want to spend.
is that basically what it comes down to?
Yeah, it's like going, you know what? They've gotten like, if you want to go and get a cheap electric kit,
Uh-huh.
they have gotten really, I mean, in terms of, here's the thing, you got the sounds,
Mhm.
then you've got the pad set. And the problem is that, you play in headphones and they just sound so good,
Right. Yeah.
but you're playing on a piece of shit.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, and everything just like, you know, like I don't care what it is going. If you're a drummer, I was saying this because for the first time in a long time, I'm building an acoustic kit.
Oh, okay.
And it's weird. So I'm building this acoustic kit and I'm going, wait a minute, I am a drummer. That's where I come from. I might not play all the time, but once I started putting this kit together, it's like going, okay, there's different elements. I had the first Gen 16 cymbals in there, the silver ones.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, they were cool. I really liked them. But then I tried the bronze ones.
Mhm.
And it's like fucking night and day. They're louder.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I see like all these like quiet cymbals. Oh, get a practice cymbal. It sounds like a piece of fucking tin. Why
Yeah,
would
right.
you want to hit something that I don't care if it even feels more like a cymbal? It sounds like shit.
Yeah.
And it's like
yeah.
going, so what, like when I made my pads, one of the things, and going, people don't really get, drummers on the whole are stupid. It's like going, because they do not even understand what they're talking about and they think they know everything.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's like when I made my pads, I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I want these to feel good, that you play them as practice pads with no sounds. And you go, they feel so good to play on.
Yeah.
I don't even need any sounds.
Right. Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
true. That is true.
And basically no one has done that.
Mhm.
Everybody's pads are the fucking same. Either it's a mesh-headed pad with a shell,
Call it.
or it's some thermoplastic piece of crap
Right.
on a stupid body that doesn't feel good because it doesn't give enough or bounce enough, all of those things. So it's like, you know, like anything, you get what you pay for. It's
Right.
like going, so the best thing, like there's a lot of guys who are real smart, like Kurt and Ken, because they knew this years ago.
Uh-huh.
They're like going, you know what? Why would I go get a bunch of new shit because it's the flavor of the month when it does exactly what I have
Uh-huh.
and I like this?
Yeah.
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 So
that's
everybody's got a different utility of what they want to do. And it comes down to, I always go, you know what? I don't care if you don't buy my shit. Buy what's best for you. And if it costs more money than you have, don't buy it now. Wait till you have enough money and buy it then.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't buy something that's $300 less when you could have bought something that was pro, as to something that's going to be like, you're going to be hating later.
Yeah. 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 Thanks for the advice. I mean, you're the only person that's actually set me straight on the reality of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's,
For
you
the
know,
most part, it's like that. I mean, the only thing, like the price range is like you got the $1,100 Roland, or you got the, like $3,000 or $4,000.
but you see, like I
Yeah.
have it's like I'm in the studio lockout. There's a bunch of drummers in here, and I'm the old guy. And it's so funny because I was the Antichrist in the 80s. I would go into clubs, try to talk to people, talking about electronic drums, and I was the person they hated.
Right.
And I was trying to help them.
Uh-huh.
But they're so stupid, they don't get what the picture is. Going, dude, there's a bigger picture than this.
Uh-huh.
Stop thinking about this little minute detail that isn't going to help you at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, the thing is, what I tell, it's like when electronic drums are a tool. They are not acoustic drums. They can emulate them in a lot of fashions. You could go down a lot of different roads depending on what your requirement is for it. And it could take you into the stratosphere of going and taking your drumming and your percussion ability of your four appendages into things you never thought about being a multimedia artist. So when you think about going, oh, I play this and it's a snare drum. Why? It could be anything.
Right.
It's a hi-hat. So some guys go, I just want it to be acoustic. Well, these are electric drums. They're not acoustic. They could simulate them,
Right.
but that's not what they are. So stop trying to get them to be something they're not.
Right.
God, you
I'm
nailed it.
sorry for the rant.
Man, perfect. Wow.
Patrick, what do you
I get these,
wanna-
dude,
Patrick, what do you want the set for? Just for practicing?
At first, it was basically kind of practicing, and the way that we write all of our stuff. I mean, it's all our guitar player that just does it in Logic,
Yeah.
and then throws it basically a lot of, because we're still working with our original guitar player Brian Baker, So
Yeah.
they go back and forth, swapping Logic tracks.
Yep.
And the drum module in Logic is it's all right, but
Yeah.
that's where my guitar player hit me up. He's like, well, if you got an acoustic kit, we could load your actual drum sounds onto it, and then you can play along to it for demo purposes, not for actually going into recording. And at that point, I was like, oh yeah, I guess maybe sure, sounds good. And the only time I've ever sat behind an electronic kit, has been at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Sitting
Yeah.
behind this stuff where it's already set up and you got some guy that's trying to help you that doesn't even know how to set it up. So you go and play the first thing that actually makes noises. And then you play with the module and it's like, oh, look, and then I'm there for 2 hours playing with the module, not even caring about the actual drums, acoustic drum sounds. I want all the other weird, cool stuff.
Dude, you know what? There
Yeah.
you go. You nailed it.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you, you know what you spend your money on? Buy the Alesis Strike Pro module.
That's the one that I've heard
Best bang for the buck.
of.
That's the best bang for the buck. It blows the doors off anything Roland or Yamaha or Pearl is selling for the price, because everybody goes down this other road. And what Alesis has done that's very smart is that, first off, they have multi-velocity samples in the module.
Nice.
So one sample will be 4 samples. The others don't do that. Roland kind of does it, but
Yeah.
Roland shit is so internal. They lock you out of everything. They're like, well, that's great if you just want to use it. But if you want to control shit and do that, forget it.
Oh,
So
really?
it's like, then you look at other things and they're all emulating acoustic drums and going, that's great. I do want acoustic drums in there, but I want the thing that's more. I want to do the other cool shit and add that into what I can do.
Yeah.
So why do I need electric drums that are, these are the best sounding acoustic drums that are electric, but you don't have it. This is the thing about why you want a Strike Pro or a Drum Cat, because it has modes of operation.
Right.
You could put a pad in a mode and send data out, because as a drummer, the most important thing that you have to offer is your performance. And that's the MIDI data.
Mm-hmm.
So someone could put whatever sounds on it they want. So you could go and play them and give them the coolest sounds. You could have all kinds of weird shit. At the end of the day, they're going to swap it all out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, if I were you, Patrick, I would just
So
mic
it's like,
your drum set and send them that, and then I'd buy an electronic drum set to add to your acoustic set. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all I'd have to really get is a couple of pads and make sure that I got a good module, right?
well, and another thing too, it's like, if you're not really so worried about one of the weak features, because the Strike Pro, they have a multi-pad.
Okay.
Which is really cool. It's got 6 trigger inputs.
Oh.
Now the hi-hat, I don't think that it really has the right hi-hat input. But when you think about it, it's the same brain as the Strike Pro.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's a multi-pad with pads that you could add a pedal and other pads on it.
I see.
So then you could say, oh, well, I could always have the multi-pad, which goes into my acoustic kit, and I have it all right there without anything else. Then I could add extra stuff and have a little mini kit configuration that isn't a full kit.
It's like a mini kit with your acoustic kit. It's great. Now my mind is racing.
Well, I like to look at things.
This is rad.
Well, you want to look at the way that I look at systems, because I build a lot of systems, audio, video, different things. Everything is a system. So if you got a multi-pad, it's a system by itself. It's a system with your acoustic drums.
Gotcha.
It's a system with electronic inputs of pads and triggers like that. So that one thing can fit into 3 different systems of things that you do. You could use it in those different ways. So it's always good to have multi-purpose platforms, not something that's just dedicated to one thing.
Right. Exactly. It's funner. It's gooder.
It's gooder.
It's cheaper too.
It is cheaper, yeah.
It's like, you don't want to buy shit again and again. Buy once the right thing for your application. And what's another huge thing, the Strike Pro will allow you to put samples in. It has the biggest sample memory. That's huge.
That's what I was really looking
How much
for.
is it?
I've seen the module go for $650 on eBay.
Oh, okay.
So if you're on the lookout, because they don't sell it separate. So, but people
they
break
don't?
apart the
Oh.
systems. People break apart the systems and sell the symbols and the pads and everything
Gotcha.
separate because they can make more money than selling the complete system.
I see. I see.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Are they-
Right.
So
are
if you
they-
find a module around $650, that's a score of a deal as a
That's-
Is that
starting
all?
point for everything.
Are those relatively serviceable? Have you ever hear about them failing?
They're still too new. To be honest, Alesis has had a bad reputation. That's why pros haven't used them. But a lot of things have gone on, even just in the manufacturing and business end and what they're doing with fighting, because it's a huge fight for the electronic drum market. Roland owned it for a long time. And then once their patent ran out on the mesh head, everybody's into the mesh head, so they don't have that as a thing they could hold. So now you're seeing innovation coming from these other companies who have money. And here's an interesting fact that Alesis, there's a company called Medeli out of China. And this company, Medeli, makes all of the off companies. Like, you ever see companies like, oh, that guy has an electric drum set, and that guy has one, and they all have the same looking components because the same company makes them in China. And they make them for all of the companies. Alesis bought that company.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Smart move.
what they did is they did that going, guess what? They're kind of nailing the competition. They're thinning the market, and they're hitting Roland hard with a lot of bang for the buck on their Strike module.
Wow.
So it's like, there's a lot of things. So in terms of, it has all the things you need as a drummer, all the inputs and outputs on that make it a pro module. It's not a toy like all the other things lower than it. That's why, like most guys, you don't buy toys, don't buy lower end modules, always buy the flagship,
Right.
even if it's used.
Yeah.
Buy the used flagship from a few years ago. Don't buy the new piece of crap. I'm always blown away how people don't learn this lesson. You have this much money to spend. You could spend it on high-end gear that's used or low-end gear that's new. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
That's some deep electronic drum shit right there.
Yeah, we just went into the wormhole right there.
Well, it makes up for not having NAM next year. So we just basically got
It all condensed.
condensed.
It's like a diamond, like a piece of carbon. Right?
Maybe I need to have electronic drum rants, and I'll just
Yeah.
rant for hours.
Right here.
We're here to help you.
Rants.
While you have the electronic drum rant, you can also do a cooking show on the side.
No, it's like, I think that it's like, if I start the rant, I'll just get myself in deeper trouble saying more things I shouldn't say about more people that I don't like. Or
Calling
shit
everybody
like that,
out.
It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh yeah,
Done
I'll
these
be like going, that guy's a fuck. Oh, dude, you're gonna love this. It's like, oh, what I do, I go, there's so many douchebag drummers that I fucking know. And these young kids, when I meet these fucking young kids, they all know these guys. They're their drum heroes,
Sure.
and it's so funny because I'm dealing with them, and it's like these kids all know me now, and they know I'm kind of wacky and say all kinds of shit. So they see me. I was walking. This is really funny. I'm walking into the forum. One of my friends are playing there, and I'm dropping off some shit. And as they see me, they're like, "Hey, Dan, how you doing?" I'm going, guess who the douchebag drummer of the week is? And they all just cringe. The look on their face like, oh, we don't even want to know. Don't tell us. And then, of course, I always tell them a big name guy that they all know that is their brother. There's my drum brother. And I'm like calling him a douchebag. It's like going, okay. You know what? My douchebag of the week is Rico Nichols, who plays with Kendrick Lamar. Douchebag, douchebag. Tell your friends. Tell them I said so.
Oh my God, this is great.
Who knew this was going to go here?
Oh my God.
It's so funny because they don't know what to
We get
say.
into a lot of trouble. Jeez.
Speaking of trouble, I
Yeah.
gotta bounce off this, man. The wife's calling me to get my ass in the kitchen and help her cook.
Oh geez, I actually got work I have to do.
I know.
All
All
right.
right,
And-
gentlemen.
do this
It's been
again,
a
Ken.
pleasure.
Yes, good to see you, Kurt.
All
Yeah.
right, man.
Have a good one, you guys.
Take
We'll see
care.
you.
All right, guys.
Take care.
I gotta bounce, guys.
Did I
Hey,
scare-
good seeing you, Ken. Good meeting you, and good seeing you, Aaron. Aaron, if you want to come down to the Cove like next week or something, and just putt around, let me know.
I
Meet you down
I
there.
need to man. I'm actually I've been working through this thing and I'm up to my ears.
That's good. That's good though.
I'm at the end of the pipeline, so we're just running it out and then I'm gonna not have a job for 2 years. But hey Dan, nice to meet you.
Hey, nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, good to meet you, Dan. Definitely. Thanks for the
Ken?
advice.
Thanks for hosting.
Sure.
Yeah,
Good to see you, Aaron.
Good seeing you. And there will be a time when we're all going to be able to roll on top of wheels, on boards, on concrete again.
Yes.
For sure.
And
It's
there will
out
be
there.
a time where we can actually do this in person.
Right.
Wow.
Sometimes I don't know when.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to sign off.
Okay. Later.
All right,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
guys, take it
Nice
easy.
seeing you.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Okay, man.
Ken,
Dan Dawes. Man,
did
is
I
he-
go over the line
No,
again,
no,
Ken?
no. You know, this is on. I just want you to know this is on YouTube Live, and you know. Oh, there you gone. You're gone now.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.